what I'm getting at is the side of the I-beam. It's a thing that's used to hold up a building, and if you're building it right, then it's going to be in the center with the maximum compression and tension on the top and bottom, and the middle will be neutral. Even though it doesn't move, it's like a whole bunch of these fine pressures in it where it's warped, and that's like an imitation of what how a computer doesn't move on its inside, but it's got all this electricity going through it. And so, just as like we're chemical, electrical beings, they're putting two and two together. It's like the opposite are attraction, and so more so over how to make that render with the diagonals, where like there's this diagonal thing, and it's used in communications. No wonder. And so when you're getting the fine scale, which is what is on both of them, really their technology, it's going to have like this diagonal is a constant in nature with communications. It's just got it dialed all over it in registers, telecommunications. And so when you're like handling one from the other, it's great to understand how there's like these fossils, and fossils are just juiced up concentrate of something that was living. And so stuff that's larger than life is like crystals. And so crystals are seen as lensing. And so when you convex and concave stuff, it's in and out. And a concave lens, it converges, means they crash into parallel light going through it. So that's a great way of understanding in computers how to make stuff crash. And so when you're crashing stuff, it's really great because it's more physical, and the more you can be hard on a computer, that's what its hard drive's meant for. And so when there's object-oriented programming, this is what everyone's holding up like a pedestal. And so when you're orienting around an object, this object, fun fact, is handled with operators. And I just found out that in an operator, it's like you can use an entire object as one. So operators are plus, equals, but this whole entire object as one is an operator if you just enter it in and it's maximum or it's minimum. And so then the limit of it is one. And so that's a great innuendo. When light is parallel, it can only travel straight and curve, or straight or parallel. That's the same thing. It can only go like perpendicular or horizontal. There it is. And so yeah, just this whole stuff where you're making two and two together with this I-beam, this technology and computer, where the I-beam is like oriented, all the stuff around it is pressed onto it, and the middle of it is neutral. I don't know if I mentioned that, but in atoms, it's like all these orbitals. This is what makes up data, literally, physically. And these orbitals, like you have electron go out if it's emitted, like excited, when it's interacting, and then it can't return back to its original state because of these constants and laws. But the orbital is still there from it. So it's really like that parallel where the computer has this information going all around internally, and that's a lot, and the I-beam is externally, and that's great. That's great.